Hello there, Sir from 17 once again, bringing you the third part of Chapter 1 in my Castlevania Night Difficulty video walkthrough. And this level is called the Dead Bog, and the reason for that is going to become painfully obvious as we go through this level, because there is a ton of marshes, a ton of wading, and a little bit of light traversal. And this is the first real introduction to what this game's all about. You have your fight areas, you have your cinematic areas where you watch cutscenes, you have your climbing areas, and then you have a light smidgen of puzzles. So if that sounds like a good, cocktail to you, you might enjoy this game. I will say, the jumping is fucking awful. The main reason for this is, it is nowhere near as precise as it could have been, and in spite of many games ranging all the way back from Mario 64 all the way on to, the Prince of Persia's, they've incorporated a certain rule set that all games abide by when it comes to jumping, and this game just thinks, fuck it, I'll completely change those conventions, and it goes against the very nature of platforming, and I don't like it. It's sluggish, it's unresponsive, and it's just poor. It looks nice when you're doing it thanks to the camera, but it's just not cool. And right now, what I should be doing is I should be pressing the right trigger and grabbing these fools and tearing them to bits. I don't know why I'm not. Like I said, these first few videos I'm going to look like an absolute retard because I just wasn't that good at the game when I started recording it, and I just kind of learned to play a little bit more intelligently. There we go. Why didn't I do that from the start? But anyhow, just keep on killing these dudes, don't worry too much. When this cutscene turns up, it means that you're going to carry on, and I'm going to trim it out like I just did then. I skipped it. Which is kind of gay, because that's another thing that annoys me. Why the fuck, when I press start, doesn't it just skip the cutscene? I can understand it for the people that pressed it by accident, who actually want to watch them, so that they don't skip it. But at the same time, I shouldn't have to then move to the left, and then press A to skip a cutscene. And it's that exact same logic that makes me so hateful when it comes to the checkpoint system in this game. Because when you die, and it says reload last checkpoint, it asks you if you want to reload the last checkpoint, like you pressed it for a laugh. And that to me is unforgivable. But don't worry about walking in this bog, even when the bubbles are up and you get caught by the things, because it isn't instant death like I thought it would be. What happens is there's a quick time event, and if you win it, you're in absolutely no danger. If you don't, you'll probably die. And the quick time events on this game are ridiculous, because the checkpoints in most of the cutscenes are before the cutscene. So if you beat a boss, get to the cutscene, fuck up the quick time event, you will have to fight the boss again. And if you don't like that fact, you'll have to send a lovely, colourful email to Hideo Kojima calling him a giant toss bank, because however his overseers and all the dudes he brought into that company, which is I think Mercury Stream, they allowed such a bad fucking fatal design choice to enter the game. So there you go. Now you know who to blame. Get those hateful masks on and throw some insults. But because this is a longer video, I'm going to continue to tell you about what I think of the game, because this is all pretty standard, this stuff. I'm also going to tell you what this guide's about. The game is fun, but it's also very frustrating, and it's frustrating because it could have been something so much better. There's a lot of nice things in this game, there's a lot of cool ideas, but there's also a lot of bad stuff, and a lot of things that it just makes me wonder why. There's also, a lot of homages to other games. The obvious references are things like your God of Wars and your Prince of Persia's and everything. But the biggest one is probably Shadow of the Colossus, and unfortunately I don't think the sequences in this game even remotely come close to touching how unique and how wonderful the Shadow of Colossus was when it came to the Titan fights against the Colossi. And it just, I don't know, man, it doesn't feel as good as it did back then. But it's a decent game. If you're on the fence about buying it, I would definitely say rent it, because I was going to buy it, and I'm glad I didn't. And then I saw it cheap and I bought it anyway. And it's one of those games where there's a lot of replay value if you enjoy it, and a lot of people will enjoy it. But I personally, I don't know, I tried so much to like it, and it kept doing things that just slapped me in the face. And it just got to that point where I wasn't enjoying playing it. So that's just me personally. You might love it. And right now, you have to beat up those dudes till they drop grenades so you can throw them at the tree. Sometimes, when you throw them, they won't drop grenades. It makes absolutely no fucking sense. If you know what the surefire way of making these dudes drop grenades is, please feel free to drop a comment so that someone else will learn from your example, because I sure didn't. And I do apologise if I sound a bit zoned out with this commentary. I've been at my university all day doing work, and it's like the fourth day on the trot, and I'm tired as fuck. It's really grating, but I can't wait to break up, so fingers crossed on that. But yeah, some information about this guide. What I'm going to be doing is, because I couldn't play it on Paladin, I'm going to be restricting myself to what I do. The general theme of that is, I only buy one move in this entire run through, and that is I forget what it's called. It's when you jump up in the air and you hold X, and he does the spin and he lands. Because I hate getting caught in the air when you're pressing X, because you can't cancel out of it, so you're floating and people grab you, and it pisses me off. So if you hold X, you come down like Dante with your chain, and it makes it a lot more simple. So I buy that one move, but I don't buy anything else because I don't use the other stuff and I don't need it. Also, the abilities that you get, the ability to go into white magic or light magic and dark magic, I'm not going to be using those unless I absolutely have to. So the majority of the fights in this game are going to be fought without the use of the magic powers. The main reason for that is to make them a little bit more challenging, so I would have more time to tell you, mistakes that you can make and the best ways to approach a situation. And that way, when you get there, if you're struggling, you will have those abilities to help you get through, and I will show you, the best techniques I found of facing those dudes. There's a couple of situations where I do use the powers, and the main reason for this is if A, they had bad checkpoints, or if B, my life was so low I could hear my heart beating, because that really pisses me off. And sure, I realise it is a cliche of game design. It's something that does immerse you into the experience, and also informs you that you're low on life and need to either play cautiously or seek, supplements to recover your life. But at the same time, this is a game that has an incredibly fussy system of regenerative health. So it's a bit of a pain in the ass, especially when it's just like constantly, and you're just like, shut the fuck up, and it just keeps doing it. Annoys the balls off me. So in those moments, you're going to see me use the light magic because it pisses me off. But for everything else, I'm going to take it on as manly as I can, and hopefully that will make up for the fact this isn't on Paladin. And even though I'm openly stating this isn't on the hardest difficulty, there's still a bunch of people who probably lay comments saying that it's on easy, because those people are fucking retards and deserve to be, killed. Euthanized. But when you smash out of this window, you have to take on this troll guy. And one thing I'll say about this dude, do you know the combo I'm doing there when I just bash X? So watch what the last hit of that combo does to this guy. I'm not going to make it there, yeah. Be careful when he picks up the statue, because he'll start hitting you. Everything he does, though, can be blocked. The only stuff that can't be blocked is when he glows white and he does something. And the shockwave moves. If you see a shockwave, you have to jump. The timing is pretty bullshit. There's his shockwave move. Always jump for that. That's that move I've bought. And but as I was trying to say before, the fight kicked off, if you can do the full combo which lands in the ground slam will stun him, and it will lock him into a stun animation, and it sometimes gives you enough time to repeat it, and you can literally just keep bitch slapping him. So whenever you get to these dudes, they're nowhere near as challenging as they first seem. As soon as you get used to fighting and you get used to the game, you can really kick their ass, because they're not that difficult at all. And they do pop up quite frequently in the game, so get used to fighting them. You'll have a ton of opportunities to practice. But yeah, there you go. That dude is down, and then you can carry on. The DLC for this game as well has just come out, so I'm going to definitely be doing a guide for that. Hopefully that one will be on Paladin. I don't know how the difficulty's set up for it. You might actually be seeing that before you see this, because it could be a nice segue into this walkthrough. But again, one thing this game really does have is an awesome sense of scale and cinematics. Some of the camera angles and some of the cinematography throughout this game is very nice. I do think it is something that drives the game rather than accentuates it, and that is a bit of a shame, because in their passion, in their fervour to make this game as pretty as possible and to give it really unique and unconventional, unorthodox, should I say, camera angles and ways to approach scenarios, it kind of puts emphasis on that more than the control of the player. So you will get yourself into situations where the camera looks absolutely fantastic, but you can't see the fight for balls, so you're just getting your ass kicked because the camera's too busy focusing on how fucking nice it all looks. And that is definitely a detriment to the game. That is one of those moments where you'll find yourself blaming the camera, and the camera on this game can be goddamn obnoxious at times. So, just be warned. Another thing that baffles me as well is, like, everybody knows platforming's frustrating. I can understand having strictness to it, but this game just punishes you sometimes. It's ridiculous. But we're coming to the end of the Dead Bog. So as always, thanks for watching. I hope the guide's helping, and you take care now.